boys and girls, and welcome to another comprehension lesson. Today, we will be exploring what is meant by sequencing and how it helps us to build our ability to interpret various reading passages or picture studies. Sequencing is another skill that helps us to build our ability to enhance our basic comprehension skill. So it's very important. Just as we looked at inferencing or making inferences, sequencing is also very important. Now, what directly is sequencing? Sequencing refers to the identification of the parts of a story, such as the beginning, the middle, and the ending. Also, sequencing builds the ability to retell events within a given text in the order in which they occurred. When answering questions based on a text, the ability to understand and place those details is very important. Ordering or sequencing of details in a text is very often guided by words such as firstly, in the beginning, once upon a time, then, after, in the end, finally, and so on. There are some other words that can also give that guide. Why is sequencing important? It helps us to remember information in sections. Example, what comes in the beginning, what comes in the middle, and what comes in the end. So the information does not have to be processed holistically or all at once. Because the information is mostly sectionalized, it makes retelling manageable. The guide words help you to keep an order of the details, which can support developing other skills. It is also important because it helps in problem solving, or simply following things in steps. And if you can remember, problem solving is very important, especially in our mathematics lessons. Let's look at this series of pictures below and try to figure out the sequence in which they should be placed. Now, this should be something that's relatable to you. Can you tell what story the pictures are telling? Can you say if they're in the right order or if they're in sequence? Let's look at the first picture. There is a clock, yes. It helps us to identify probably the time of day. But if you look behind the boy, there is a window. Is it bright or is it dark? The next picture, we have a bus, and most likely that's the sun behind the bus. In the third picture, we have the boy getting out of bed. Someone might want to say, but he's going to sleep. But if we look through the window again, does that look like night or day? In our fourth picture, it's another bus. It's another picture then with a bus. But is it as bright as the first picture? Our fifth picture, the boy is eating. And the last picture, most likely he's at school. Now, are these pictures in sequence? Are they telling the story in the right order? Let's look at what order they should be placed in to tell the story. And we'll use the numbers 1 to 6 so that we put it in the correct order. We can say, firstly, if you think about what you do, that the boy woke up and there we see him getting out of bed. Then he went to have something to eat. The school bus indicates that he was probably heading to school or he left home for school. We have a picture of him at his desk. His bag is next to it, so most obviously he's in school doing his work. The next picture with the bus showing the back of it indicates that he's now heading home. And the last picture, he's sitting with his books and a pencil in his hand. He's thinking. So probably he's trying to get his homework done. Well, now that you did the pictures, let's try reading a story written in parts and arrange them in sequence. The title of this story is Shopping for Food. So keep that in mind. Let's read each part and see if it makes a sensible story as it is. Shopping for food. Place the food in your cart. Pay for the items at the cash register. Walk into the store. Walk out the store. Pick the food you want. Place the items in your bag. Now, take your time and look at those sentences in the order which they are. And you think about the shopping trip that you would have went on. Is that the order your activity would go? Would you place the food in your cart first? Would that be the first thing you do? Where did you actually get the food from? So no, these sentences are not in order. So the story here isn't making much sense. Let's try rearranging them in sequence so that our story of shopping for food makes some sense. Yes, obviously, we have to get to the store. So we walk into the store. Then, once we're in the store, we pick the food we want, or you pick the food you want, because most likely you went with a list. So as you pick the food, what do you do with them? That's right, you place them in the shopping cart or your basket. Once you would have picked up everything, can you just walk out the store? Of course not. We have to first pay for the items at the cash register or the cashier. And then we pack them in our bags. Once they're packed in our bag or our bags, we finally walk out the store. So this is what our story should look like when written in sequence. Walk into the store, pick the food you want, we place them in the shopping cart, we pay for the items at the cash register. Now, pack them in our bags and then walk out the store. Did you think of the story in this same order? Okay, I'm sure you did. So, remember at this time, sequencing allows us to arrange events of a story in order. There are keywords like in the beginning, firstly, next, finally, and others that we can look out for. The events must be told or retold in the order of beginning, middle, and end to show sequencing. We can't mix it up and have the correct sequence. Here is a story that we will now go through to better understand how we sequence details. So Super Kid flew down to the tree and tried to grab the cat, but it scratched her. Then Super Kid used the blanket to grab the cat and flew it down to the ground. Finally, the cat was safe. One day, Super Kid was flying around when she saw a cat stuck in a tree. She wanted to help the cat get down. After the cat tried to scratch Super Kid, she got a great idea. She went and got a blanket. Do you think this story is in order? Keep in mind our transitional words we went through before. Which was most likely the first thing to happen on that day? One day, Super Kid was flying around when she saw a cat stuck in a tree. She wanted to help the cat get down. Next, so Super Kid flew down to the tree and tried to grab the cat, but it scratched her. After the cat tried to scratch Super Kid, she got a great idea. She went and got a blanket. Super Kid used the blanket to grab the cat and flew it down to the ground. Finally, the cat was safe. I'm sure you got that. Beautiful work. I hope that you understand writing in sequence helps us with building our comprehension skills. So I'm sure that you understand how to write in sequence better now. If you need to review the video, you can do so on the Gyna Learning channel on Facebook. But don't forget, when we sequence, we are putting things in order of beginning, middle, end, or first, second, third, and so on. That's all, everyone. So long for now, until we meet again on the Literacy Lab.